Yep.
So you're in the right place. If this looks familiar, we're talking about 50 days left to unlock Q4 results and what to know. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. We've got some awesome speakers, really awesome group of knowledge that is meant to combine and like give you those high level strategies that are easy to implement. So I'm excited to hear from everyone and hear any questions that came in. We had a great list of questions come in just from people registering. So that'll be awesome to get into. We've got a little baby agenda here. We'll start with some intros to each of the panelists that we have, and then just the general vibe of the event. We've got our must-have strategies from each partner that you see on here today. And then we're going to get into our Ask Me Anything style Q&A. So we're going to have our list of questions that have already come in. Anything that comes in chat, that's top of mind that we want to get to. And then we have some special offers at the end and partner sign-offs for anyone that has kind of those last minute questions or anything else we can contribute to the conversation. We'll throw it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get us into our speakers today. So Steph here from Justuno, I'll be speaking on that on-site experience and with CRO in mind, conversion rate optimization, which can feel like a lot to do right now before the holidays, but I'll really break down like different points to make it easy. And I'll just go across the screen. Brett, I'll give it to you for an intro.
Sure. So I'm the founder of Gatsby. We'll talk about our Justuno integration here shortly, but it helps merchants identify which of their customers could be a good ambassador or influencer for them. And then using automations and integrations, just scale an entire program around that. So we're talking about collecting Instagram handles, identifying follower counts, triggering automated emails and SMSs, and loyalty points for engagement.
All you, Jake.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys. I'm Jake Disraeli, the co-founder and CEO of Treat. We're a branded resale platform. So we help brands launch dedicated, fully branded and customizable resale programs where their customers can buy and sell items to and from each other in exchange for cash or credit back to the brand. And prior to Treat, I've also launched, as you guys, I don't know if you joined early, but actually a few of my own Shopify brands, and then spent the last 4 years prior to founding Treat at Indiegogo, launching thousands of brands on their crowdfunding platform.
Heck yeah, lots of experience. Throw it over to you, Lindsay.
Hey guys, my name is Lindsay. I head up partner marketing at reviews.io. And if you're wondering what we do, it's in the name. We are a Google licensed platform, which allows clients to grow their online reputation through reviews. And we also have loyalty rewards as well, UGC, social proof, and all that good stuff.
The best stuff, yes.
Yes.
Throw it to you.
Hey guys, I am Katie Murphy and I am the Associate Partner Manager at ShipBob. And to tell you a little bit about ShipBob, we are a global omni-channel fulfillment provider, and we help brands build scalable, affordable fulfillment strategies for their brands.
Well, Bill, can we hear from you?
Absolutely. Phil Splendorio from A&B Interactive. One of the partners here. I manage a lot of new client onboarding and partnerships. So nice to see some of you guys, some familiar faces. And A&B is an email and SMS marketing agency. So we've been around for a couple of years. We're more boutique. We're founded by owners and operators of previous D2C companies. So we all have experience hands-on running businesses. So we know all the challenges and pitfalls, but all the ways to find success. So we like to bring a lot of those things along with marketing and SMS on behalf of our clients. So thanks for having me.
Excellent. Thank you, Phil. I cannot wait to hear from everyone. I'll go ahead and get us started with the Justuno perspective and our tips going into Q4 as you're wrapping up. Let's see here. So we're looking at what to add and optimize on site now. So within these 50 days, this is what you're going to be adding to your site, optimizing to your site that will further tell you what to do for the holiday. So we've got 3 specific points on site that are really important to highlight these awesome partners that you see, to highlight everything they're doing, like shipping, influencers or creatives, highlighting UGC, So all of that can sit in these unique targeting areas on your website. And with Justuno, you're using advanced conditions to make this whole experience happen on site. So we'll start off with a banner message, which is ideal for targeting unique segments that you have coming from either a source or a specific cohort that you're targeting. We also want to address the aspect of geolocation and how that relates to shipping, which Katie is going to give us some great tips there. So we have tools here that make it really easy to give that information clearly at right when they arrive on site, and wherever it is that you're driving your traffic, whether it's a collection page or a high converting landing page, you're showing that specific banner. I think the banner messaging is also really great for any kind of outreach that you're wanting to relay in terms of issues you're experiencing. So I really encourage people to be transparent about what's happening and not try to bury it, not try to hide it. Like, the more upfront you can be in this time in the season, the better. And that's not meaning that you're excluding any channels you're communicating issues in. It's just connecting all the messages from email to SMS to right when they arrive on the website. Then we get into adding and optimizing exit behaviors and cart abandonment. So we're trying to optimize exit behavior by having something there to, like, hold up a second, we really want to talk to you about this. Maybe that could be targeting specific pages that are your top exited. That's a great place to put your effort right now. Or top pages that you're looking to explore that are targeting other sources. Maybe that's as simple as your product pages or your category pages. The gist is that we're either showing them a special offer, which right now we've seen offers that are related to shipping, whether it be like free returns at the end of the cycle, free exchanges, or just free shipping in general. Like, that can be your special offer, and kind of testing out right now what works, whether it's a percentage off for them or these specific free shipping offers, which right now there's so many cool tools to use that offer like credit for the store, a cool way to redeem gift cards. So as you're targeting these exit behaviors on site and someone actually leaving the website with items in their cart, this is the perfect time to figure out what offer you want to commit to for the holiday, and can be based on different segments for sure. I would also encourage limited lead capture. Phil, I don't know how you'll feel about this, but limited lead capture in terms of, like, right now the people want to shop and they probably want to find a deal, and they may be coming from like a bunch of research. So there's a lot of contributing factors to what someone wants to shop for, and we want to remove any roadblocks. Ideally, you're getting that email when someone is checking out, once they've converted, and on that post engagement page, on their tracking page, that's when you can have a lead capture with Justuno that opts them into an SMS flow or maybe a specific segment for whatever ESP you're using. So it's kind of like with Justuno, we're prioritizing conversion. So that's the goal with these different touch points, is either presenting that lead capture somewhere else further down, or there are some cool features that I'll show some examples of, just some tabs going on. And then we've got add to cart behavior that can trigger upsells, cross sells, and different payment options. Those are some really, I would say, like, hot topics right now that we're seeing, and that I saw a lot of people mention as their focus today. So I'll wrap mine up with what to test now to move the conversion needle. So we added all that in for, like, what can we add and optimize. So this is testing. And I have some data in here that is meant to support, like, what the idea is for testing. When it comes to ratings, people may not say it's as important to them, but it's absolutely part of their process, which I'm sure Lindsay will get into detail for us. But with with ratings being so important, we want to test the type of reviews we're showing and where we're showing that. So those different points I mentioned earlier. We've also got 25.48% saying they get their gift ideas from recipient request. So in our minds, that should take us into, like, educational offers, maybe not so much like harping on the product, since if they're buying as a gift, something else may drive them to buy as they're exploring. And then our last point here is that many shoppers are planning to begin holiday shopping before November. So I have seen some things about starting your offers early to me, it's about like kind of getting the feel for how your visitors have responded in the past years, although it has been wacky with COVID, of course. But with that in mind, this is where I mentioned earlier, testing different shipping, warranty, things that really add value. That's going to differentiate you from your competitors. I'll wrap it up with some quick examples here. Bam. So we've got here on the left-hand side some cool tabs, like I mentioned, that can trigger any lead capture on your website, and to make it so that you're focusing on that conversion and your lead capture isn't taking over everything. But I don't hate on lead captures. I've got this really cool gamified version here in the middle from btosports.com. And that's a full-fledged lead capture. We've got email, SMS. They have a special offer with it. And it's asking for a birthday too. So kind of like full level attack on data capture and wanting to learn about a visitor, which is also really great at this time. So you'll see different variations, including video, and your pop-ups can be really impactful for engagement at any stage of the journey. And this is really seeing some founder videos be really popular on websites. So mimicking that TikTok vibe, or like if someone's coming from TikTok, we probably know they're more receptive to that kind of content. So totally okay to show them something that maybe to you looks a little scrappy, but to them is very relatable. And then I've got a cool exit offer here. I wanted to highlight that with the simple click, you're adding something to cart. So frictionless, something that's really easy to redeem. And then we have a timer there to give them some urgency. So lots of examples to screenshot, reach out if you have any questions. I've got my QR code here for a free trial, which I'll also show at the very end. Should be showing. Excellent. And feel free to reach out via email if you have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Lindsay, and I'll let you share your screen.
Okay, let's see here. I think you might need to enable that for me.
Yeah, sorry about that. Oops. Okay, how about now, Lindsay? Did that work for you?
Yes. All right. Share. Okay, can everyone see this?
Oh yeah.
Okay, amazing. All right. Okay, so today, let me just pull up my notes here. We are going to talk about some tips on how to leverage those customer reviews for the holidays. I have 3 tips that I think everyone here should definitely leverage and utilize ahead and beyond the holidays. Okay, so first, leading with social proof. This one is definitely crucial and one I fall into as well as a consumer. However, if you, by leading with social proof, you're showcasing that authentic customer experience, seeing people wearing it, how they're using the product, and how they feel in the product. And that makes the person watching those videos, watching that UGC content, excited about it, seeing someone else broadcasting their excitement. 49%, according to HubSpot, of Gen Z consumers prefer to discover new products via Instagram stories. And though I'm not Gen Z, I definitely fall into that, where I get targeted all the time at night. I'm scrolling and see, a product for sweaters or whatever it is. And I definitely fall into that shop now. So leading with social proof is definitely huge, huge. Just showcasing people being excited about your products, and therefore you want to be a part of that and that experience and that community. So that's definitely something huge to keep in mind, not only ahead of the holidays, but beyond for next year as well, going into the new year. Oops, sorry, hold on. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, second up is collecting and publishing attributes. Now, when you shop online, you lose that tangibility aspect of going in store, feeling, the shirt, the pants, whatever it is, and getting a feel for that in person. So by publishing attributes, you're able to understand what, how the comfort is, the fit, is it looser? What does that look like for you buying a product that it's a new brand for you. So being able to publish these is crucial to just help the customer understand what it is they're getting into and what they're purchasing. So leveraging that content helps customers make an educated purchase and decision. And it just showcases that you want and are showing your audience, this is what the product is. You're not hiding anything. It's out in the open. It just gives more trust for the brand as well. So third up, and lastly, for the tips here from reviews, is surveys. Now, this is something that absolutely should be done prior to the holidays, during the holidays, and after. So learning and reacting, gathering that valuable feedback on your website to learn what's working, what's not working, which is okay, because in order to grow and be better as a brand, you need to understand what faults there might be. How's the shipping? How's the user experience? And understanding that will help you grow and create potentially a better experience if people are unhappy, but you need to absolutely look at those negative reviews or maybe not happy customers, because that will give you some learnings and teachings for how to improve really the customer experience overall, because that is key. You want people to go in easily, find that shirt, drop down, whatever it is. So these surveys will not only help you understand how to prep for the holidays, but also how to prep and be more informed and educated going into the new year, and making, improving on that customer experience really. And then that's really it. So 3 quick tips. There's my email there. And for any new users, we at reviews.io are offering 2 months free. So feel free to reach out to my email. I can drop it in the chat as well. And any questions, I'm here to help. And that's all I've got.
Perfect. Cool. We'll pass it on. Gatsby.
All right. Lindsay, really nice slides, by the way. Much better than mine are about to look. Especially the UGC one, which is a great kind of great segue into Gatsby. So for those that don't know Gatsby, I'm the founder here of Gatsby, and we are all about UGC. We're helping you collect more of it through social media by actually getting your customers to post content on Instagram, on TikTok, tagging your brand, exposing their audience to your brand. As somebody who's actually in the market for new glasses right now, that's a very hard thing to buy online. But there's a brand I want to buy from, and I scour Instagram to find real pictures of people wearing the different frames I'm looking at, because we know how marketing images can be, they're always perfect. I want to say they look like real people. So UGC is extremely important through reviews, on social media itself. And that's what we'll talk about today. So Justuno is awesome. And they have you guys have your new, it's called the 2.0 or the beta. But inside of Justuno now, you can now use templates. Let me see if I can't zoom in actually in this view. Let me see if I can just, for a second here. Well, you can see here, basically these are templated pop-ups or lead capture forms in Justuno that you can launch super quickly to collect Instagram handle. That's the first part about this process, is you're already spending a lot of time and money on social media, a lot of time and money on email, right, and SMS through whether it be Klaviyo or Attentive or Yotpo or anything else. I don't think Justuno does email, does it, Steph? Hope I'm not mentioning you guys.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. I know there's a lot of stuff you guys are building, so I don't know yet. But long story short, get those Instagram handles. You're not getting it now. Start getting it right now before Black Friday. The reason is, once you start getting the handles, our system here at Gatsby will be able to tell you how many Instagram followers that person has for you, and track every time they mention you on Instagram or TikTok going forward. And then we're going to sync this data to the systems you're using, like Klaviyo, Attentive, Gorgeous, Yotpo, OmniSend, everything else. So you can automate your messaging there, right? So the idea is communities are really important, but they're very hard to manage at scale. with our automations, you can actually manage a much larger community going into Black Friday. Now, what that means is, as you approach Black Friday, you're probably going to be putting together some different promotions and bundles, maybe even some events going into the holiday season. You can use that as the carrot to get them to opt into your community with their Instagram handle. Say, hey, listen, people who join our community, they'll get Black Friday deals 1 week earlier, right? Or they'll get special access to exclusive bundles. It's a great way to get more of that lead capture. And sorry, I have this cough right now. So that's part one, is get those handles in the front door. The second part is start to actually reward them for mentioning you, right? So we have already mentioned our email and SMS integrations, loyalty programs. We should talk about that as well. Lindsay, for reviews loyalty, I think you mentioned that. But we do integrate with Loyalty Alliance, Stamped, and Yotpo Loyalty, and Talkable, and others. So you can give points for mention. So tag us on Instagram. You can do it once a week, and you can get 100 points for every time you tag us. That's another way of getting more UGC around your brand and more visibility towards it. The next one here is, once all these systems are talking to one another, so you have the pop-up talking to Klaviyo, talking to Loyalty, start to segment your audience, your customers, and your community into different tiers based upon those attributes. So, for example, if a customer has over 1,000 followers, they're based in this particular country, and they've bought one of these collection items before, well, that might be a great candidate to promote a new product line that's related to that, that area. So just start to segment your community into different offerings. What's cool is all this data from Gatsby is layered on top of everything else you know about that person, right? So if you're using Gorgeous for customer support, that support agent will be able to know they have 1,000 followers when they come in with a ticket, right? And so you can actually really just leverage this across your entire tech stack. And then lastly, have some fun, get creative, build some games around this. So like Lucy & Co. is one of our newer clients. They launched recently with a really awesome promotion where they are saying, hey, if you're in this particular category of our community, we're offering, throughout the month of October, if you mention us X number of times, you get more rewards. And like, we're tracking all those mentions. They have an email going out for every one of those mentions. And then at the end of that, they just say they do 10 mentions, they get their particular reward. So really start to have fun with this and have fun with your community. I have a couple pictures here, and then we'll definitely be able to part and get to the Q&A later. So this is Gatsby tracking all those mentions, Instagram DM automation as well that you can set up, and just some UGC and how you can download this. So again, I'm super excited about being part of this panel today. Any questions you have, we'll get to those soon.
Great stuff, Brett. I am like so inspired by a couple different strategies you gave there. On to you, Katie.
Sounds good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So welcome everyone. Before we dive in, for those of you new to ShipBob, we help brands fulfill their orders across all sales channels. And there's 3 things that I would love to highlight. First, we work with businesses of all sizes. So whether you're a Fortune 1000 company to the fastest growing D2C brands to people who are just getting started, we provide them access to the best in class supply chain capabilities. 2, we also help you optimize fulfillment operations. So in your own facilities, you can use ShipBob's WMS, or you can also outsource to us completely. And we pick, pack, and ship your orders from over 50 fulfillment centers across the globe. So the US, Canada, Europe, the UK, and Australia are just some of our locations. And we are lucky to fulfill for thousands of brands globally to build a scalable, affordable fulfillment strategy and fulfill orders with our seamless omni-channel connectivity. So the ShipBob platform provides merchants with a single view of their business and then also their customers from all sales channels. And it helps them manage products, inventory, orders, and shipments while leveraging real-time analytics and reporting. So I will get into our tips for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but Our first tip is identify key deadlines with a shipping calendar. So keeping up with demand and getting orders out to customers fast and at a low cost is critical to making sure products get delivered before any gift giving begins. And establishing those inventory receiving and shipping cutoff dates with your operational partners is key. So these dates are different per partner, per carrier. So you really want to make sure you're aware of them and then putting them into a shipping calendar to make sure you're building in those padded buffers. So for cutoff dates, you want to account for longer production and transportation lead times as well. Then to help with that, you also want to communicate those order deadlines with your customers so they're aware of anything involved in that calendar so you're not losing out on those orders. So let's say a customer needs something for Christmas. You want to make sure you let them know that it needs to be placed by a certain date and add in a couple days as a buffer too, just to really over communicate so they're not missing out on those deadlines. Tip number 2 is forecast demand and order inventory early. Another must-have for Black Friday, Cyber Monday is inventory. And obviously that's a huge challenge. You want to make sure you have enough inventory on hand as you experience higher order volume. And obviously it's more apparent during the holiday season. So forecasting demand is actually rarely 100% accurate. So you want to make sure you're taking steps to get your estimates closer to actuals. So some things you can do are look at historical data and seasonality to optimize stock levels. Think through your promotions and anticipate those spikes around Black Friday and Cyber Monday and any other promotions your company does. You also want to optimize stock levels by tracking fast selling versus slow moving items. So what's the most popular things and making sure you stock up on those, making those purchases for your holiday inventory early, and then making sure you're working with your 3PL to note their inventory receiving cutoffs and for around the holidays, since their backlog will be higher than normal as well. One statistic here is 38% of merchants will integrate technology to help anticipate fluctuation in demand. So maybe go through your tech stack, make sure you have the right tools in place so you can be successful this holiday season. And my last tip for today is get ahead of shipping delays and congestion. Around the holidays, something is always bound to happen, whether your carriers get overloaded, a blizzard hits, you name it. We actually had a situation during peak a few years ago where a major carrier restricted pickups from one of our biggest fulfillment centers, and they limited our orders to 500 orders per day that day. So having a plan in place, making sure you stay flexible. And luckily we had a plan in place to make sure orders still got out, but definitely anticipate things happening. First thing to consider is, where is your inventory located? You want to redistribute your inventory to warehouses that are closer to that customer base. So if you have one fulfillment center in Southern California, think about it that if that customer's on the East Coast, it's going to take them a long time to get there. So a long transit time, it could cost a lot. And maybe think about distributing your inventory across a few fulfillment centers to meet your customers where they are, since not all your customers will be in one place. And I think working with your WMS, making sure that you use your order history and customer data, you can easily calculate locations that make sense for your business as well. And this helps reduce risk if a fulfillment center or carrier gets overloaded. So you'll have an extra fulfillment center to handle those inventory issues and make sure those orders go out. Another thing to consider is working with your carriers to get ahead of shipping delays and congestion, diversifying your carrier mix. You don't just want one carrier, having one carrier fully reliant on that one carrier. So make sure you have multiple carriers that you're using for your holiday shipping. One thing that's really great is our proprietary algorithm can help find the quickest, cheapest options across multiple carriers. So you're shopping those rates, you're getting the cheapest price, and you are meeting your customers as fast as you can. So with that being said, we are also having an offer. We are offering $1,000 in free shipping credits to all new merchants. So you can either scan this QR code or go to shipbob.com/Justuno to get that offer.
Fabulous. Thank you, Katie. That was amazing. I think that's some great topics that we see a lot of questions coming through, and we had some come in earlier today too. Pass it over to you, Jake.
All right. Katie, I love that animation. I feel like I can watch that truck going by all day.
That was great.
Also, I'm getting the hint of the QR code promotions. I think our next deck might have that as well, just to make it all that much easier. Again, I'm Jake, the co-founder and CEO of Treat. We help over 125 brands launch and manage their resale programs. And so I'll focus like the next few slides on resale and how it overlaps with conversion over the holidays, but also how it overlaps with returns. And making sure that you're accounting for that down the line. It's not a fun conversation to talk about and think about, but it is really important to start thinking about right now what your plan for inevitable return actually is in come December, come January. So just a few stats. Salesforce predicts that actually 17% of the holiday purchases this year will be secondhand. So a question I might be asking myself is like, is there a path for us to offer secondhand goods to our customers? Second piece is, so of the over 120 brands that we launched and serviced over the past few years, on average, over 42% of the users that shop these brands are net new to our brands. And so the folks shopping secondhand are oftentimes younger, more price sensitive, more eco-friendly, or they've made vows to buy secondhand. And because more than ever, we expect secondhand to take off this holiday season, launching a resale program is just a great way to access this huge swath of customers that would otherwise be purchasing probably your brand on other platforms that exist, whether it be ThredUp, Poshmark, eBay, Depop, all these other like specialty third-party marketplaces that exist. So you want to own that story, own that customer data, own those sales so that you can capture those customers, turn them into full price, etc. And the last piece here is that like when it comes to sustainability and folks making shoppers making purchasing decisions, it's estimated about 60% will consider sustainability when making a holiday purchase this season. So that's not exclusive of just resale, right? There's so many different ways that you guys can add pretty simple and easy like low-hanging fruit sustainability initiatives to your page to drive conversion, whether it's working with your fulfillment partners on doing carbon offsets or doing mission-driven campaigns, obviously offering secondhand items to keep items out of landfill. And so it's just one way that you can make sure that you're optimizing your company, your website, et cetera, while doing the right thing at the same time. It happens to be also a great decision for your bottom line and conversion, and while doing great things for the planet. When it comes to returns, so resale and returns are often used in the same sentence. So I just want to talk a little bit about how resale overlaps with returns. The first piece is a Shopify stat, which was last year about 30% of purchases over the holidays were returned, which is a huge number. 30% of your sales might be returned to you. So starting to think about what to do with those returns now and how to combat that number to make it lower is a good idea, especially because a lot of the tips that we get for the holidays are to make free returns, right? Or increase your shipping window. All of these things to increase conversion, which is fantastic. But on the back end, you're dealing with a lot of returns, right? And so you want to account for both things at the same time. And so when it comes to resale is one path for your customers to return items that they either can't return. So oftentimes, for instance, we work with Loop, where if an item can't be returned or it's outside your return window, most of our customers will have resale or their resale shop on their returns page or their exchanges page to give them an alternate path for that. Or if an item is opened or it can't be sold as new, you can resell those items. And actually that gets into the next point, which is, of course, this number is very different for every single brand. And hopefully you guys know what the cost is. But Optoro estimates that the average cost of a return for all the handling, all the shipping, all the reworking, and the reselling is about 66% of the item price, which is insane. And so starting to think about what you can do to increase the margin on that next sale, that incoming return. One of the things that you can do is streamline the reselling of those returns. And so hopefully you already have a path to resell items that are in new condition, right? That can be placed back into inventory. But for the 10 to 20% of items that are opened, or there's some signs of usage or need like tags, for those units, oftentimes that gets neglected. They sit in warehouses. They go to potentially liquidation centers that you get sell for pennies on the dollar, etc. So starting to think about what to do with those returns now is a good idea. You can reroute them to places where you can list them on your resale site. If your logistics provider doesn't already have an ability to do re-commerce, you can send all of those units to a fulfillment partner that does that, to upload all of them to your resale site, and then also capture more customers and increase your margins that way. We happen to do this. So our company, again, is Treat. We work with some of the leading D2C e-com, Shopify brands, et cetera, managing their resale site. It's super easy to get set up, really like 2 to 3 hours on your end. You can have a fully branded resale experience live in the next couple of weeks in time for the holidays. It's stackable models, so you can do peer-to-peer resale. A lot of our brands also do brand direct, which means selling items that they either don't want to sell or can't sell on their main site. They keep their main site pristine, and then they sell those items on their branded resale site. And it's extremely hands-off. So basically you launch it, put it in the right place on your website, and then Treat handles all of the back end, all the support, logistics, the disbursements, et cetera. And so that way it's kind of more like a marketing partnership. You can use all of these amazing tools that we're talking about right now to tell people about it, and then we handle all the logistics behind the platform. Similarly, we're also offering a deal. This would be a QR code next time. Yeah, we're doing 50% off your first 3 months. Yeah, thanks so much, guys.
Great info, Jake. Thank you so much. I hope we didn't QR shame you in any way.
Maybe just a little bit, but my QR code is going to be even better than your QR code next time.
I can't wait.
It'll be full screen, it'll be branded, it'll be so pretty.
A whole slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. On to you, Phil.
Amazing. Yeah, I wish I knew about Treat back in the day when I had my D2C brand. It was a subscription company, quite a bit of returns. Let's turn it over to email and driving revenue for Q4, right? 30 to 40% on average, depending on your vertical, it can be attributed to Q4 to your overall revenue. So biggest time of year, email should always be top of mind. Spend a lot of money on top of funnel. A lot of customers are waiting for that discount code. They're looking for an excuse to buy. So no better time to get in front of them than Q4. And we do a lot of work with Justuno. So to further Steph's comment about behavior on the earlier slides, whether you're using Klaviyo, MailChimp, Attentive, any email platform that's out there, so much opportunity to really understand user behavior, everything that's going on. It's super valuable because when this time rolls around, their inbox and their now cell phones are getting flooded with messages from every other brand and competitor that's out there. So the better you can personalize and tailor that experience to them, the more likely they are to make that purchase. They're going to make a purchase regardless, right? So email is going to be super helpful. And now is the time to really start planning. Up to 50% of that revenue, sometimes more, that you're going to drive in Q4 can be email. And email is one of the biggest returns on your investment. So you're going to see the biggest ROAS there. So make sure you're planning now. All right. A lot of words here. Steph, I assume everybody can get a copy of this after. Okay, wonderful. So the goal here is to take this away with you and implement it if you're a brand, if you're not already doing it, or pass this along to one of your partners. I try to be as detailed as I could so you can take away some of these tips and tricks, but a few things to really note are creating super targeted segments, right? So you want to be as personalized as I mentioned. So building, using Justuno and any tools that you can to create excitement, get a wait list going, treat them like VIPs, have them be the first to know about Black Friday offers, anything that's coming up. So they'll be expecting your email. When they finally get it, they'll be ready to pull out their credit card and make that purchase. Target, any active buyers, customers who purchased last year during Black Friday. If you have, a wide variety of SKUs, or, some sort of consumable, make sure you get in front of them again. And you can use personalized messaging to really just let them know, who they are. We're back with another offer. Even anybody who's just purchased using a discount code, get in front of them. Say, we know you're going to love this offer, right? Because they do like your offers, and that's when they tend to purchase. The other thing is making sure things are consistent. So if you're running an offer, your pop-up needs to reflect it. All of your email flows need to reflect it. That messaging, really needs to be important. If you're spending a lot of money on paid social, on paid search, anywhere, you want to keep that journey consistent. So, there's a lot of work that can be done, but you can do it very quickly. If you want to clone the current setup, you can build a separate landing page if you really want to go all out and have that journey very fluid. But the most important are going to be the welcome flow, the abandonment flows, add to cart flow. Just make sure everything is very consistent, so that they will end up making that purchase. And make it engaging. Like, I loved the, game. I'm not always a big fan of gamified pop-ups, but there's a time and a place for it. And certain brands, it just works really, really well. Now could be one of those times. Get people excited, make it fun if you can. And then open your list up. So everybody's very focused on deliverability nowadays, right? We have so many new clients coming to us. Help us. Our click-through rates are really low. We're very nervous. We feel like we're ending up in most spam instead of inbox. And we see that a lot, very, very often. So one of the biggest things for us is, make sure you keep an eye on things, but you can open up your list during this time. Really the best time of year, right? So if you want to be careful, open it up to 180 day engaged, right? If that works, and this is very subjective. This will vary depending on what type of brand you are, what type of engagement you have. And if things go pretty well, open it up to 365 day or somewhere in between, 270, whatever. Just keep an eye on things. And if you're worried about it, maybe send it to a 10% or 20% of the 365 day engaged, right? And then if that goes pretty well, send it to some more of them. You just got to keep an eye on it and make sure you're very careful. But you want to get in front of as many people as possible. Resending to non-openers. I know most brands out there do it. Keep it going. Use it for the more important emails. If it's a big announcement or a last chance, that's when you're really going to be able to get their attention. So any sort of urgency, that's when you want to do it. Let's talk about creating a unique sales calendar, right? Every year, brands are always asking us, like, when should I start? What discounts should I do? Should Cyber Monday be bigger than Black Friday? All wonderful questions. Every year, everybody has their own strategy. Nobody's, I would say, is better than anybody else's. They're all great, right? There's a lot of strategies, and every agency sort of has their own opinion on it. Again, depends on the industry and vertical, how many SKUs you have. But don't let it be boring. Don't keep the same discount code for Black Friday, reiterate it for Cyber Monday. You can, but customers, if they didn't purchase Black Friday, they might lose interest by Cyber Monday, or they may have already made that purchase. It's not going to push them over the edge. So for my opinion, right, everybody has their own. Try to do it with certain categories. Put a certain category on sale pre-Black Friday or for Black Friday, and then switch it up, offer some, a discount on something else for Cyber Monday. You can have a bundle, bundle products together for Cyber Monday if you had 40% off site-wide for, or whatever it is for Black Friday. Just make it feel a little bit different so that customers, there's more of an impact there. And we've seen this work well where you can send an email out getting people excited, and you can literally have a chart of all the discounts that are going to be offered on which days. You can't be afraid to do that. I think, again, not for every brand, but we've seen it work so well for clients, and customers wait, they set a little calendar reminder, and they'll come back and actually either click that email when it comes in, or they'll head right to your site before the email even comes in, because they know this day, this product or category is on sale and I want to get it. And you can use a lot of urgency there, get it before it sells out, only 200 in stock, whatever it is. Add some excitement there, add some urgency, and make sure you're personalizing your emails. So I didn't put it in the slide, but it's here. We're offering a free audit if anybody's really curious if their email or SMS program is where it needs to be, and if it's going to trigger and fire the right way for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We'll take a look at everything for you. We'll let you know. And if you want some assistance with your services, we're happy to help. We'll offer 50% off your first month with us.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Phil. That was amazing. Great breakdown into, you answered like 2 specific questions from our AMA portion already. So you're killing it. But let me go ahead and share my screen so we can have our deals up. We've got plenty of time for some questions coming in. Let's see. Where's my screen? Okay, are we back on the offer screen? I hope. Cool. So I didn't see anything come in chat. I'm going to get into what we had submitted previously, and a couple we already addressed really in detail. So I'm going to get into one, and I'll throw it back to you, Phil, because you kind of did hit on it a little bit. But how soon should I, if I'm a merchant, launch early access to Black Friday? Is there like a solid date or month for you?
Probably one of the most often, probably the biggest question that we get, right? Being that Q4 is so important to everybody. And there's no right or wrong answer, but and every year it starts sooner and sooner. But a good rule of thumb is right after Halloween, you can start any sort of pre-holiday, pre-Black Friday messaging. And it doesn't need to be a massive offer out of the gate. It can be. I hear brands taking the mindset and other agencies of, well, people are going to make their purchase, and it's usually for themselves pretty early on. So the sooner you get in front of them, they make that purchase, great. They might not have the money to make that second or third or fourth purchase as Black Friday comes up because they got hit with all these pre-Black Friday emails. So those brands win, right? I think getting the audiences engaged early on, and it could be, like I mentioned, sign up for the VIP wait list, be the first to know when our deal comes out, get them interested and get them feeling like they're committing to you beforehand. And if you want to start offering, this week we're having a sale, the first week of November, we're having a sale on this category. The second week it's this category. You can do that as well. But a good rule of thumb is right after Halloween is probably when you want to start.
Nice. Yeah. You're getting
that messaging out.
Yeah. People that are expecting it. And I love what you were saying earlier and like making it exciting. Like, yeah, bring back the excitement of a cool offer that someone could get for the holidays that is different from competitors, different just from like shopping that's happening. That is a good lead into this next kind of more general question. We didn't touch on it at all, but would love to know what role is AI going to play in finding success this holiday season? Can I throw that to you, Brett?
I mean, yeah, we have AI in our domain because we definitely intend on using generative AI to help with UGC creation and overall community management. But this definitely is more broadly, and it's also more right away. We're talking about this particular holiday season. So I don't know. I mean, that's a great question. I think, and I personally use AI with the different systems that offer like rewriting, but that's a great question. How is it going to play a role in this particular? I think the only thing I could say is we're gonna have emails and SMS and content written in help of AI this holiday season, but it's not that much, I think, available yet in the marketplace.
Open to piggyback.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I know Attentive has a copywriting assistant now that's AI generated. I think it'll always be a work in progress, but for those who are short on time, a lot of clients handle their own email programs. And, if you're short on time or you just stumble on a roadblock, everybody gets writer's block and you can't get written 100 emails over the last year, can't think of a new subject line, or, it's there to help. So we're starting to see it now, and it's pretty incredible. So we're, as an agency, excited about that because it makes us more efficient on behalf of our clients.
Yeah. To me, it kind of makes me think like brands are either going to lean into the data they already know about their visitors for like you said, Phil, to curate or to beat that writer's block. And then we have those who are going to rely on AI. And it's going to be interesting to see how the revenue pans out now that we have this assistant that can make things easy, can make it sound like us, to some extent. But any other comments on AI?
I actually think it's also interesting to think from the customer perspective. This is the first year that we've really had ChatGPT or AI-driven Google search results for recommending best products or what to get your mom for Christmas, right? Or things like that. And so that's also going to impact just search results and what people are trying to find. And then internally at Treat, we're already exploring with just AI chat, right? And so can you it might be, well, may or may not be. We don't have any chat. Like Gorgeous isn't on this call, but I wonder if it's not too late to incorporate more sales-driven AI components to your chat, in your support chat, so you can like capture information about like what people are looking for on the page and answer questions in real time with AI-driven like sales support.
Yeah, that's just like next level, just anticipating what they might need and delivering it in real time. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into another question here. ShipBob, specifically for you. Is it possible to work with ShipBob if we are a small business? Which I know you touched on that earlier, but yeah, any specifics to attach to that?
No. So, I mean, we do work with brands of all sizes. So whether you're just getting started in e-commerce or you're shipping thousands of orders per month, we can definitely work with you. We have our growth plan that is really great for new merchants. It's free to get started. It is self-onboarding, and you have access to our warehouse management software and all of our fulfillment centers as well. So there's options for everyone in the market for sure with us.
Nice. Okay. That leads me into another question, which I feel like you touched on something like this too, but how to jumpstart a business. So I guess from that maybe small SMB type of merchant or brand, what is is it different from how people are prepping in general for like a whole new sale time period?
That's a good question. I mean, I think there's a lot of different tactics you can do and use as like you're a new brand. One thing, well, this might be just like for increasing your sales and like getting out there in front of people, but like offering different things on your website, like whether it be like 2-day shipping or that's a great question. I actually don't really know the answer to it at this moment, but maybe somebody else knows a little bit more about what
I can jump in a little bit.
Yeah.
The question is like getting started, essentially like launching a new business. Is that right, Estrid?
Yeah.
So the question was, just getting started. Actually, I think it also overlaps with Gatsby a little bit. I think the best businesses that are launching are starting with building a community first and like pre-selling their offering so that when they don't launch, they're not launching to crickets. And so there's a lot that you can do to build a pre-order, or just not even pre-order, say splash page of your website so you can collect email addresses and build your Instagram account, start with friends and family and have them recommend the site and go out from there. Also, before you even do that, making sure you're building the right product. And so running validation studies, doing A/B testing to understand people's likelihood to purchase a product. And then there's a number of different avenues you can go from there. You can start selling immediately, or you could do what I did in a past life, which is like run a crowdfunding campaign to get pre-orders for the product so you can pay for production. There's no shortage of different paths to go there. But I do think the best businesses start with building a community first so that you can like use your launch as a launch event, regardless of where you're doing it. And you can make that like your business launch holiday, if you will, to like drive a bunch of sales and create some momentum.
I love that breakdown. Yeah, both of you you make it sound like the tools are there. We're just like putting it together like some Legos. I would love to hear from you, Lindsay, on like starting a new business. You probably don't have a lot of reviews. So are you more aggressive in your tactics, or are you sticking with the fundamentals in terms of gathering reviews or using other parts of your tool?
Yeah, I mean, so you're saying you're a new business, you don't have any reviews, how to go about collecting.
Yeah,
Yes.
just like the start of where you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what I've seen some brands do is encourage people to leave reviews, and if you love the product, we'd love to hear from you. Well, you'll get X off maybe the next purchase, or be an influencer, something like that. But yeah, it is tough to start that, I guess, but at least encouraging purchases once and following up. Hey, how did you like it? Leave a review here. How can we improve? So yeah, I guess there's an aggressive maybe tone to it, but I would say more um instead of being aggressive, it's more just, I guess, excitement and trying to get people involved in your community. I forgot who said that. Was it Phil or Jake? But creating that community and getting people excited to be a part of it is, I think, yeah, and putting
Can
that
I
nice.
add something to that, Lindsay, as well? Like, I like to think about me as a consumer a lot when I hear questions like this. And just yesterday, I got a postcard in the mail from a product I bought. Super like it's a mouth guard cleaner. Like honestly, nothing exciting I would typically think to review about, but it's actually good. It's a good cleaner. And I got a postcard in the mail, said it would give me a free box if I leave a review.
Right.
What's great about it, the timing of it. So like I'm halfway through the box, and it must have thought that was the case based upon when I ordered it. And it's not expensive, but hey, a free box, why not? I think it's important. You can't say give a free box for a good review. It has to be like just for any review is important.
Right.
Um, but yeah, hitting them up in the right time with different methods, whether it be an email or a postcard or
Yeah.
DM, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that personalized touch because it makes you feel more, VIP, I guess, and you're more a part of that community and building that brand as well. So yeah, I've gotten those as well too, and I'm more likely with that to leave a review than maybe just like a mass email or something. But yeah, definitely the personalized touch, I think, is the way to go when you're starting out, especially.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like you guys narrowed it down to like the timing and then being proactive and
Yeah.
not shying away from it, but not being like, I need it now. Just like, what do you have to say about it? Amazing. Thanks for wrapping us up with that. I know we're at time, so I appreciate everyone hanging on here. I do see one QA in here, so let me just get into that one if we're all cool. Okay, how long does it take to set up a resale program? Jake, I feel like you mentioned that, but would love a detail there if you can add.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, just to get the site fully set up, it's like 2 to 3 hours worth of time to like make sure that it's the branding is clear and that it's fully integrated with your Shopify site. And then it's more of actually just a marketing exercise. And so making sure that we're seeding the site with inventory, either from the brand, again, we call that like brand direct units of items that you don't want to sell on your main site, or it could be returns, or doing a call out to your VIP customers to have them list items. And so when we launched Girlfriend Collective a few weeks ago, they sent one SMS and one email to their VIP customers, and they immediately got like 1,500 to 2,000 listings of customers wanting to participate in their resale program. And then they hit click live after that for shopping.
Amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, I have heard how quick it is. I think that's like, it's really shocking how quick it is, but it also is like kind of expected in today's tech and time. So love that you can deliver that. Awesome. I think that wraps it up then for our questions. Thank you everyone for joining today. We'll send this out in an email for the recording, and you'll get the slide deck here with everyone's tips and offers. So hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to everyone later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.